If you're a luxury collector or a Louis Vuitton lover, you need to have a Speedy. I don't think you do. Hello, welcome back to Classics with a Quirk, where I talk about contemporary and luxury designer items and brands with a touch of silliness. This is the kind of content that you find interesting. Please do like this video and subscribe for more of it. Thank you. So I have what I think will be a fun but probably slightly controversial video today, which is classic bags that I like but absolutely shouldn't buy, and the reasons why. Now this list is just classic bags from some very classic brands, and it's not the longest list in the world, but it's not the shortest list either, and it is the most classic bags you could possibly think of, honestly. So not sure how well this is going to go over, but I do want to say that none of these bags are bad. In fact, obviously these are all bags that I really like and admire. Classic bags I love but shouldn't buy. And so this is just illustrating the reasons why I think I shouldn't buy these items, and these reasons might mean nothing to you, or they might be something that would be a problem for you, so maybe something that we can both share in terms of, oh yeah, I admire that, but from afar. It's not for me. It's okay. So I'm going to just jump in with the first bag on my list, and that is the Lady Dior, which is probably the most classic of classic bags, especially from, obviously, the Dior brand. And I think these bags are beautiful. I really do. I've admired them for a long time, and I've considered buying one off and on for years. I just never pulled the trigger, and I don't think I would buy one new at this point anyway, with the current prices, especially considering the reasons I'm about to mention. But I do like this bag. Obviously, these are all bags on this list that I like. I just don't think that it would work for me. I don't think that I'd be able to style it in a way that I would be comfortable with. I've seen Emma Anders review all different sizes of the Lady Dior. I've seen different people talk about the pros and the cons. Carolina's Closet is a channel I watch. I would recommend giving her a follow. She's super fun, and I love the way that she talks. She did an entire review about why she sold her Lady Dior, and I believe it was the medium size or the My ABC size, one of the in-between sizes. She's, made a whole video about why she sold it. I'll link it down below for you. All of the reasons that she listed are reasons that have made me hesitate. I don't know how the handles would, sit on me. I don't know how the carry would work. I think that it's a very square bag, but it's a wide square bag, so it looks like it would flop against my body, kind of funny. And the way Sophie Chohat really likes the Lady Dior and owns several, and she looks so elegant with them or casual with them, depending on how she styles them. And I think they look beautiful, but I don't think that I'd be able to style them personally in a way that I'd be happy with. I also do not think that the zipper would be functional for me, especially in the medium or the My ABC size. Maybe in the large it'd be fine, but with the smaller sizes, I would only want the flap, and the flap is very expensive, and so I wouldn't spend the money for a new Lady Dior with a flap, but I wouldn't want one with a zipper. I think that the opening would just be too difficult to use. So that's why the Lady Dior is not on my list to purchase, or is on this list for bags that I would not purchase. Next on my list is the LV Speedy, and this is a bag that I no longer own and would not get again, even in the bandoulier style, because it's just not a shape that works for me. Boulders in general don't work for me. I found I don't like the top handle only of the regular Speedy or the crook of the arm carry. I don't mind a top handle as much as I used to. I really don't. In fact, I carry my Sienna almost exclusively crook of the arm or top handle, but something about the shape of the Speedy just doesn't work for me. I don't know if it's the sag, although you could add a bag, organizer to help the structure of that, but it just doesn't, there's something about the shape that I don't love. And especially I think the 30 is too big, the 35 is enormous, and the 25 still seems a little bit big to me, which I don't know why, because my Sienna is about the same size, if not a little bigger, but I just like the shape of the Sienna so much more. I like the structure so much more. I think the Sienna is a beautiful bag. This is the PM size. I bought it last year and I'm super happy with it still. I'll link the unboxing for you, but I like this so much more, and I also like the fact that it's treated. If I got a Speedy, it would be in the Damier Ebene, and I have a Damier Ebene bag that I really like that I would use instead of the Speedy, and I also like that this bag is slightly taller. The Speedy is kind of squat, the shape is a little bit squished in comparison to the Sienna, so you can fit more height wise, which makes more sense to me just in terms of what I carry. So I have the Sienna. I don't really think I need the Speedy anymore. I would consider getting an older Speedy, like a vintage Speedy, but that would mostly just be to have a vintage Speedy. And I don't need one. I have plenty of vintage Louis Vuitton bags that I do like and enjoy, so I don't feel the need to buy a bag that I would only have to have it, even though I still kind of want the bag to have it, if that makes sense. Staying in the realm of Louis Vuitton, the Louis Vuitton Alma BB, I think that this is such a cute bag. I think it is such a cute bag, and every single time I see it styled from somebody else, I think it's adorable. And I've almost purchased it numerous times. Just every single time, I never followed through for two reasons. One, I don't think the shape, I tried it on, the shape just doesn't work for me. The strap not being adjustable aside, because you can always get a third-party strap, not that I would really want to, but you can. The strap not being adjustable aside, it's a weird shape. And I don't know if it's just my body or something, but it sits so strangely on my body. Just the way that it's domed and like how it is kind of still wide, and it like kind of the same problem with the Lady Dior actually. It just like sits out funny. And in fact, I have a Coach bag that's in the same style. It's not the Alma BB style. It's closer to the Alma PM style, but I have this Coach bag in this really pretty starry like print that I believe this is an outlet bag actually, and it's from a while ago, and I've had it. I don't think I've used this in ages. Like I don't remember the last time I used this, honestly, and I'm thinking of selling it to be perfectly honest, in part because I don't like this shape. I don't like this shape on me. It sits weird. Even if you top handle it or crook of the arm, I don't like this shape, how it sits on me. And the same thing with the Alma BB is that the loops, the strap attaches on one side and then the other side, so it kind of falls like sideways, and then the strap gets in the way when you want to unzip it. I've got a little twisty tie here to keep the handles upright so they don't land on the bag and dent the shape of the leather. I do that with my Sienna too, although this is just a little bit of string, a yarn. That's a really good tip, by the way. If you have a bag with handles, instead of letting the handles flop down on the bag and making indents in the leather or the canvas, which cannot come out for the most part, just tie them up and, no problem. But I like this shape with the dip so much more than I like the dome. And so that's pretty much why I don't have an Alma BB. I just don't love the dome shape. I also noticed when I was trying my stuff in the Alma BB that even though it has a dome that comes up pretty high, you can't fit stuff up to the dome because then it'll buckle up the zipper and make it warp. So you can only fill it about this full, even though it's a bigger bag for the size of it. That makes sense. You can't fill it as full, so it doesn't even carry as much as it could because of the dome shape. And just again, like I like the Sienna shape so much better, so when I ended up getting the Sienna, that kind of clinched the fact that I would never get the Alma BB. Again, I think it's such a cute bag, and I think it looks so cute on other people, but not for me. Moving to Chanel now, and I think that these are both bags that people are going to be like, what are you talking about when I say that they're bags that I wouldn't or shouldn't buy. The shouldn't is different from wouldn't. Shouldn't is I know that I shouldn't buy them because I know that they wouldn't work for me, but wouldn't is I wouldn't actually do it. And I think for a couple of these, it's never say never, because I don't think I would buy a Louis Vuitton Alma BB. I don't think I would, but I do think I might buy the next bag on my list, which is the Chanel Mini Square. I do think that it's adorable, and I've seen it in certain styles that I have considered purchasing. I've been able to try it on in store a couple times. I'm trying it on in store. Why didn't I just get it while I could? I understand your sentiment there, but for different reasons, the color or whatever. But every time I try it on, I do like it. I like how it sits. I think it's very cute. But something about it makes me hesitate, and I don't know why. I think maybe it's because it's the strap drop is just a little bit shorter than I feel like it should on my body. I'm 5'7", and that doesn't really make a difference. There are people who are 5'7" who look great with the Chanel mini square, but something about it just doesn't seem right to me. I prefer the Chanel mini reissue to the Chanel mini square. They're both approximately the same, you know, shape. The mini reissue is pretty square, but I prefer the reissue to the mini square. I do think it is so cute though, and I will admit that there are certain mini squares patterns and colors that I have definitely been tempted by. I think that I would be more drawn to lambskin actually, although the problem with getting a mini square in lambskin, at least for me, is that with the way that it would fall, it would rub exactly on the seam of my pants or where my shirt meets my pants, which would cause additional friction, which would wear the lambskin. So just, you know, stuff to keep in mind in terms of buying bags. But yeah, it's such a cute bag. I just don't think that I should own it. And that makes me sad because it's such a cute bag. I don't know. If I got a mini square, I would want with puffy quilts. I wouldn't want a deflated or vintage bag with a flatter quilts. I do think that I would want a puffy quilt version. So it would be more like a newer version, or at least, you know, maybe one from like the 2017 airline collection that Chanel did. I think it was 2017. Those were real cute. Those were real cute. Would maybe buy, would potentially purchase. I don't know. I don't know. It's shouldn't, but might not be wouldn't. The last bag on my list is possibly the most controversial one, and I will start out by saying that it is a beautiful bag. It is absolutely gorgeous. I have been able to try it on numerous times. I was able to try it on in this beautiful, I believe it was 20B burgundy color. I believe it was 20B. Beautiful burgundy color. I'll see if I can find the picture for you to show it, but I am getting ahead of myself. What is the bag? It is the Chanel Medium Classic Flap. Yeah, I don't know, well, okay. I think the Chanel Medium Classic Flap is beautiful. I've been wanting a Chanel bag in chevron, in the vintage quilting, vintage lambskin, possibly even new lambskin. If I got a offer or opportunity to get a Chanel Medium Classic in vintage lambskin in chevron, might go for it. If I got the option to get it in vintage caviar, also might go for it. If I got the option to get a current modern one at current modern prices, even if it wasn't a gorgeous color, I don't think I would be able to do that. Not even just price-wise. I mean, price is absolutely a factor, especially for that type of price, but I like it short shoulder. I do. I like it long shoulder, and I can't cross body it, and I don't know why that's makes me hesitate so much. But for some reason, and I couldn't tell you why, for some reason, not being able to crossbody the Chanel Medium Classic Flap has made me not buy it in the past. And I don't love the Chanel Medium Classic Flap on short shoulder for my body frame. I do prefer it long shoulder. And I actually have noticed that I prefer a lot of bags long shoulder, depending on the drop length. But like I have my Chanel Sweet Classic Flap, that's a single flap, and so it fits just as much as the Chanel Medium, and it's a beautiful navy blue color. In fact, hang on, I'll get it. Okay, I'm back. So I have my Chanel Sweet Classic Flap, which is obviously very reminiscent of the Chanel Medium Classic Flap style. It's just got this kind of more exaggerated, like bigger edge stitching border. I did a whole video about the unboxing of this item, and then I did another video about the review about this item. I love this bag. I love it. I love the color. I love the look. I love the fact that you can crossbody it if you so desired. And it's, you know, it's got the Mona Lisa pocket on the back. I just think that this is so beautiful. And the chains are long enough again to crossbody, and that also means that the chains are long enough to have it at a longer drop point for short shoulder. So let me just show you really fast. So you'll see here, it drops down like a little bit less high. Like the Medium Classic Flap would fit higher up here, and this like drops down a little bit more. And so I think that fits nicely. I don't know if that was a good shot, but that's what I got. So I just, you know, I like this bag so much. And so if I got the opportunity to get a Medium Classic Flap for not $9,000 in a beautiful color, I think I might be more willing to go for one now, not now price-wise, but now in terms of how I started wearing my bags, which is not all crossbody all the time. But I have this, and I also have my reissue in the 255 size, and I love that too. And that's in the classic black with gold hardware. This is in the beautiful navy. So yeah, I love it, but I don't think I need it. I don't need any of this stuff, but I'm more like, I don't know how much it would add to my collection besides having it. And I think that that makes me take another look at why I want to own things. Kind of same with the Speedy, is that sometimes you want things because you love it, want to use it. Sometimes you want things because you love it just to love it. And sometimes you want things just to have them. And I really try not to purchase just to have, because I think that, I got the medium classic flap. I would admire it. I'd obviously use it if I had it, but I don't want it, oh, I love it, it's it's an aspirational bag, it would be a dream piece. It would be more like, yeah, I'd like to have that. I think that it would be nice to have that. And I think that, especially for bags at this price point, that's not the best way to go about it. Like, I want to unbox something and be overjoyed. I want to be giddy. I want to be excited. I want to be like the grinning lunatic I was when I unboxed this. So I think that it's important just to have, for me at least, it's important for me to continue to be aware of bags that I want because I love them, and would be so excited to have, and bags that I want to have them and not necessarily because I'd be over the moon to own them. Does that, I hope that makes sense. I know that I say that a lot, that I hope that makes sense, but my mind is a tricky thing, and so I just hope that this whirling enigma of thought makes sense in terms of that being the reason. Again, never say never, especially if I got the opportunity for a vintage chevron medium classic or a really beautiful caviar in a beautiful color or something. I might, but it would have to be a special bag to make me want it, to be overjoyed to get it, over wanting it because it's a medium classic flap and you should have a medium classic flap in your collection, which obviously is a little silly. Like, if you want one, great, cool, but don't buy it just because you should. None of this stuff you should buy because you should. It's like the luxury starter kit. Not basic, but like, I really don't think it's important to acquire things because everybody else says you should acquire them. Like the Speedy, for instance, or the Alma BB. They're quintessential Louis Vuitton. So people say like, oh, you need a Speedy. Like, everybody should have a Speedy. If you're a luxury collector or a Louis Vuitton lover, you need to have a Speedy. I don't think you do. I don't think you do. I think you could be perfectly happy with not a Speedy if the Speedy isn't your bag. Tangent, sorry. Moving on. So that is it. Those are the classic bags, or at least some of the classic bags that I do love but shouldn't buy. I would love to hear what you think about my options or my selections. What do you think about my reasons as to why I wouldn't buy them? Are there any classic bags that you do love but wouldn't or shouldn't purchase? Please feel free to share in a comment down below, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, please do give it a like. It super duper helps the algorithm, and subscribe for more content that helps the algorithm even more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.